we're rolling out a special Studio 5 style file dedicated entirely to women over the age of 50. As we age, our makeup does need to change. It requires a savvy customer, a savvy consumer too, and a willingness to update what you know and what you've always done. It's hard to change though, but today, Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore is here with her fabulous mother-in-law, Marilyn, to give us some tips. So is this punishment that she's here?
I know, I do feel bad because I've split her face down the middle, so I've made her look a little crazy, but it's for your guys' sake at home to learn, and she's the best mother-in-law, so I knew she would do it for me.
So sweet. And seriously, like clothes, right? You don't want to be wearing the same, I mean, you have the jeans from when you're 21, but when you're 61, you probably shouldn't wear them, right? So it's the same concept?
Absolutely. Our face changes, our skin changes, and we need to change our makeup routine along with that so that we have the best, most flattering results.
Can you point out and explain what you did to her face? So you split it literally right in half, so we're going to show viewers that.
So we're going to do a few do's and don'ts, right?
Okay.
So on this side is kind of the don't side, and from a distance it's probably okay, but when you kind of look up close, you start to see, oh yeah, that's maybe not the best thing. So the first thing we were going to talk about is the brows. So a lot of times as we get older, our brows become more sparse, and the one thing, yeah, they thin out, the hairs aren't there. So a lot of times I'm seeing brows that are just really heavily penciled, and what that tends to do is it actually tends to pull the eye down. It fills it in and it makes it really quite harsh, and it's not going to give us the most flattering result. So on the other side, let me move her bangs over. What we focused on, what I focused on here was highlighting the brow. So I took a nice kind of highlighter crayon and I ran this underneath here, and this is going to kind of visually lift the brow. And then I just kept the brow strokes and the hair color really quite natural, so it just lifts the brow and opens the eye, but it's not weighed down and heavy like the other side.
Yeah, you can really tell, and it does show really on TV too.
Yes, so you can just use a little bit of a highlighter crayon. This one's by NYX, and it's just going to give that nice visual lift. So focus on the lift and not necessarily filling in.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. And then you said highlight, but what about blush? So when we add that on, I mean, who doesn't love a good little blush, a little color, a pop on your cheek?
We love the blush, right? And we need the blush, but oftentimes what I'm seeing is blush all the way across the entire cheekbone or even down into this apple. And as we age, that's going to start to pull the face down and forward, which is not what we want it to do, right? We don't want color here.
It's all about the lift.
The lift. So we're going to keep this circle open, and we're going to bring our blush back higher up onto the point up here. This is going to visually lift the face backwards and lift with the color that way instead of pulling it down forwards.
And that totally makes a difference. You can see it like so well on TV too. Like you can see that, and then you turn this way and look at that pop. It's like a whole just facelift for free, or I guess a few bucks, whatever the brush.
So you don't need too much, but just bring that blush back a little. It makes a huge difference to visually lift the face.
And is there a certain kind of blush that's better? Because I know there's like different, wetter kinds.
Yeah, there's cream blushes or powder. It really doesn't matter, and honestly, the color doesn't matter too much as much either. It's really about the placement and kind of trying to visually trick the eye to look like everything's lifted in a little bit higher.
Can you tell I need Megan in my life? I'm calling it the wetter kind of. I'm so bad at makeup. I need you. Okay, concealer. That is something I need help too.
Concealer is probably the one we get asked the most, and I think a lot of times you can see on this eye, I did a really light concealer. A lot of people look for like that really bright color, but if you think about it visually, if I put a light color next to a shadow or a fine line, if you will, they accentuate each other. So you're actually going to see those fine lines and wrinkles a lot more. So instead, go to a color that's closer to your skin tone, a little bit warmer. I went in with a peach one here, and I took it all the way across her cheek towards her temple to brighten the whole area underneath her eye, and it's not going to accentuate those lines because it's not too bright and light. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it does, and with the color you use, it really does kind of go with the blush itself too. So it's just important that you really think about everything as a big picture. Is that right?
Yes, everything should go together. But I think the biggest thing with the concealer is use less and use a darker color as you get older, because the fine lines really soak in that light color, and you can see the difference between the light and the dark shadow. They really accentuate each other.
And is there a product that you recommend? I know you just had one.
Yep, this one's one of my favorites. This is the LA Girl Concealer, and it's in their peach corrector. So it's actually very peach, and it's close to her skin tone, so instead of being a white concealer, it's much pinker, and it's going to give a much better effect.
All right, and now to the eyeliner. I feel like that's a big one, right? Because I always still want to do it thicker and darker, but I'm told, not anymore. As you get older, you're not supposed to. Is that right?
Yep. I say 30 is the cutoff for eyeliner, because when we're 20 and we want to look older, we're going to rim our eyes in black eyeliner, right? That's the easiest way to age ourselves up. But when we don't want to look older, we want to lessen the eyeliner. So on this eye, she's got quite a bit of dark eyeliner around the eye, and it closes it down. It's visually a lot smaller, and you can't see it. On this side, all I've done is taken a nice brown eyeshadow.
So it's totally different color, obviously.
Totally different, brown eyeshadow, and all I've done is just kind of run it along the lash line to give it some definition. She still wants her lashes to appear there, right? But this eye looks bigger and more open because it doesn't have that dark weight of the black on the other side.
It definitely makes a difference.
It does.
Do you feel the difference? Can you see yourself?
Yeah.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
She's the best. All right, last but not least, lipstick.
Yeah, she's got 2 different lips on, which was kind of hard to do, but on one side, she's got lipstick that's like a traditional lipstick that's very waxy and shiny, and those tend to migrate. So they find themselves in the fine lines around your lips, which is a big thing that I hear from women that are over age 50. So on the other side, we've actually prepped her lips first with a clear lip liner. This is just like a clear, waxy lip liner, and this goes around the outside, and all it's gonna do is create a barrier so that the lipstick can't grow. It can't expand past the lips. And then the lipstick itself is something that's got a powder finish, so it's not going to migrate and move. So I've used this one. It's by Carity, and it's called Lip Lock, but it's going to stay place, and it has more of a powdery finish, so it just can't spread into those fine lines that we often see happening.
And what about matte too? I know that's a popular trend. Should you do that if you have, more mature skin? And it really can be, we all age differently, but.
Yeah, you can definitely use matte, and these dry matte, I like to put a little balm over the top of them to give them a little bit of moisture, but anything that's glossy or waxy is going to find itself moving
So you
around.
got to lock it in with that.
Yep,
lip
more
liner.
of a powder
I don't
finish.
even know I'm so terrible, Megan. I need all the makeup help I can get. I do it in my hands in the car. I have an intern that was like, holy guacamole. I need to do your makeup.
That's a good skill to do it in the car. But I'll have all of these listed on my blog so you can find them, and then you can go back and reference what we're talking about.
Awesome. Where is that? Where can we find that?
So that's thebeautysnoop.com.
Oh, well, we are so lucky to have you, Megan. And Marilyn, you are lucky to have such a lovely daughter-in-law who can help you out like this. You look fantastic. We appreciate you being here. And once again, can we take one more look? Check her out. Look at this. Even from like afar, check you out. Half and half. Totally different. It is just a different world. So thanks for being here. I love it.